Get ready, because everything you thought you knew about yourself is about to be completely rewritten. March 2025 isn't just a shift, it's a total rebirth. Your energy, mindset, and even the way you see the world will feel like it's being torn apart and rebuilt from the ground up. This month is raw, intense, and unstoppable. There will be no time to analyze or second guess. Aries season is almost here, and it's coming in like a cosmic wildfire. Aries doesn't just mark the start of a new zodiac cycle, it's the reset button for your entire existence. It strips away doubt, burns through the old, and pushes you into something brand new. The wild part? You won't even realize how much you're transforming until it's already happened. What you thought was the status quo will suddenly feel outdated, irrelevant, as if you've been wearing someone else's skin, and the moment you shed it, you'll feel reborn, alive in a way you never imagined. If you've been meeting people who feel strangely significant, as if they were placed in your life for a reason, keep paying attention. There's an important reason behind it. They're not just random encounters. These individuals are cosmic catalysts, bringing messages, lessons, and even opportunities you weren't expecting. But this is just the beginning, because something even bigger is coming. What happens now will set the stage for what's to come, and it's unlike anything you've ever experienced. Prepare yourself for an energy shift so powerful, so profound, that you'll need to be ready before it's too late. On March 20th, the spring equinox arrives. A brief moment when light and dark are perfectly balanced. But this isn't about balance. This is about making a choice, a defining moment where you must decide where to go next. The equinox marks the official start of Aries season, but this year, it's different. It's not a smooth transition. It's a cosmic crossroads. You're standing at the edge of something huge. And whether you realize it or not, a decision is being made. Will you stay where you are in the safety of the known, or will you take that step into the unknown and step into the fire? Because once you take that step, there's no turning back. The door you walk through now will shape your entire future. And what's on the other side? Let's just say, not everyone is prepared for what's coming next. Those who resist will find themselves stagnating, watching as others move forward with a renewed sense of purpose, while they cling to the past. But for those who dare to leap, they will find themselves on the other side of this shift, transformed in ways that will challenge every aspect of their identity. The world as you know it is about to be set ablaze, and you have the choice to either stand by the sidelines or run toward the fire. Aries season is almost here, and it's going to ignite everything. You don't need to follow astrology to feel it. The shift is undeniable. There's a sharpness in the air, a sense of urgency that makes people impatient, more reactive and unpredictable. It's as though the world is vibrating at a higher frequency, and no one can escape its influence. One moment, you'll feel an overwhelming surge of energy, pushing you to start something new, take action, and move forward without hesitation. The possibilities seem endless. Every idea, every dream feels within your grasp, just waiting for you to grab hold. Then, exhaustion will hit like a wall, pulling you into deep moments of reflection and rest. It's like being on a roller coaster. The highs will feel invincible and the lows will feel crushing. Aries energy isn't measured or balanced. It's a wildfire, not a controlled burn. It doesn't ease you into transformation. It demands movement, whether you're ready or not. You'll feel the impulse to leap forward, to make sudden decisions, and to dive headfirst into whatever sparks your soul. But just as quickly, that very same energy will drain you, leaving you wondering how you're supposed to keep up. If you've been feeling restless, impulsive, or driven by a sudden need for change, you're not alone. It's happening everywhere. The collective energy is amplifying, pushing us all to break free from the stagnation and the safety nets we've been clinging to. There's a reason Aries is known for being bold and relentless. It doesn't second guess, doesn't sit still, and doesn't wait for the right moment. It charges forward without looking back. And that means emotions are running high. Decisions are being made in the blink of an eye, and patience is in short supply. People will no longer tolerate waiting around for things to change. They'll take matters into their own hands, making bold moves that could shift the course of their lives forever. Expect impulsive decisions, sudden revelations, and a sense of urgency that no one can ignore. But this is just the beginning. Aries season alone is intense, but now it's colliding with something far bigger, something that hasn't happened in over 160 years. Once it starts, there's no turning back. You will feel the pull of this energy like an invisible force, guiding you, pushing you into places you never thought you'd go. The cosmic landscape is shifting in ways we've never seen before, and we're being called to meet it. This isn't just about personal transformation. It's a collective awakening that will sweep through the world. Some will resist, some will fall behind. But for those who align themselves with the intensity of this moment, a new world will emerge. Get ready. Because Aries season is not just a time for change. It's the beginning of a revolution, both within you and around you. The fire is coming, and the only question left is, are you ready to step into it? On March 30th, Neptune makes its transformative entry into Aries, marking a shift that has not occurred since 1861, a time of revolution, social upheaval, and radical change. As Neptune moves into the assertive, action-driven sign of Aries, we are on the cusp of an era that promises to shake the world in ways we can barely begin to comprehend. Neptune, the planet that governs the unseen realms, spirituality, dreams, illusions, and the subconscious, holds sway over what we believe, trust, and fight for. It influences the very core of our values and guides our collective consciousness, often working in subtle, hidden ways. For the past 14 years, Neptune has been drifting through Pisces, a sign of deep introspection, emotional fluidity, and quiet faith. It's been an era where belief systems were often personal, private, and somewhat passive. Faith in a higher power, trust in the universe, and spiritual exploration were often quiet and internal pursuits, allowing people to connect with their inner worlds and find peace in subtle reflection. But now, with Neptune entering Aries, everything is about to change. Aries is a sign that does not wait for permission. It is a sign of action, courage, and leadership. Aries doesn't sit idly by, hoping for signs or guidance. It takes the initiative and forges its own path. Gone are the days of quietly questioning and seeking spiritual answers in solitude. This is the dawn of the spiritual warrior. Neptune's shift into Aries heralds a period where people will be challenged to confront their deepest beliefs, dreams, and ideals, and decide whether they are truly ready to stand up for them. It will no longer be enough to passively hold beliefs or wait for a sign to guide you. This new era demands action and authenticity. You will be asked to actively engage with what you believe in and to fight for it. Because Aries, the warrior, will not wait for the world to change for them. They will change the world themselves. This will be a time of immense growth and spiritual awakening, but it will also bring discomfort and upheaval. Neptune, in Aries, will burn away the illusions we've clung to for so long. The comfort of false beliefs, illusions, and distractions will no longer be allowed to persist. Aries, with its fierce, fiery energy, will force us to see what is real and what was simply a comforting lie. What once seemed unshakable will be tested and may crumble. The false structures we've built, whether they are societal norms, personal narratives, or collective myths, will no longer stand up to scrutiny. The quiet, introspective faith of Neptune and Pisces will give way to bold, outwardly focused spiritual action. This era will demand that we not only confront the truth, but also take tangible steps to act on it. There will be no more hiding in the shadows, no more waiting for divine inspiration. This is the time to become the spiritual warrior, to align your actions with your deepest truths, and to challenge the world around you to do the same. At the same time, this profound shift will not happen overnight. It's part of a broader cosmic transition that is already underway. The energy of this change is already building, and by March 29th, the celestial forces will align to bring even more intensity. The solar eclipse that occurs just before Neptune's move into Aries is an incredibly potent event in the astrological calendar. A solar eclipse is never just an ordinary occurrence. It is a cosmic reset. It brings about profound changes by erasing the past, clearing away what no longer serves, and setting the stage for something entirely new. This particular eclipse is especially significant because it falls in Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, known for its warrior spirit and relentless pursuit of action. This eclipse will burn away the old ways of thinking, beliefs, and structures that have held us back, forcing us to step into a new phase of existence. This eclipse is a catalyst, an event that will demand we leave behind anything weak, stagnant, or no longer aligned with our true selves. It is not a gentle transition. It is a forceful clearing of the old, making space for the new. The eclipse's energy will push us into a place of radical self-discovery, forcing us to let go of outdated identities and embrace who we are becoming. It will not allow us to remain stuck or trapped in old patterns. The process may be uncomfortable, even painful, as we shed what no longer serves us, but it's also a necessary step toward growth and transformation. You are standing at the edge of what could be a profound personal and collective identity collapse. This moment represents a point of no return. Once the eclipse's energy hits, there is no going back to the old ways. You will be asked to step fully into who you are meant to be, without hesitation or doubt. It's a time to let go of fear and to trust that, though the journey may be intense, it will ultimately lead you to greater freedom, authenticity, and alignment with your true self. This astrological event isn't just a momentary blip in the sky. It is a monumental turning point. It's a time when the universe will challenge you to live your truth out loud, to act on your deepest spiritual calling, and to embrace the warrior within. Whether you feel it yet or not, the shift is happening. The world is on the verge of profound change, and so are you. Here's where it gets intense. You might not even realize what's happening until it's already done. You could wake up on March 29th feeling like something's off, as if you've forgotten something important but can't quite figure out what. There's a subtle discomfort in your gut, a sense of unease that lingers, a quiet whisper that something significant has shifted, but you can't pinpoint exactly what it is. That's because something has disappeared. The parts of you that no longer resonate with your true path are being ripped away, whether you're ready for it or not. It's not a gradual process. It's a sudden, powerful force that pulls the rug out from under you, leaving you in a space of uncertainty, vulnerability, and sometimes confusion. This isn't just a metaphorical shift. This will manifest in your life in ways that you may not have anticipated. People who you thought would always be there, who you believed were constants in your world, could suddenly vanish, as if they were never meant to be a part of your future. Relationships that once felt solid and unshakable may crumble. A job that defined you, or a project you've poured your heart into, might start to feel meaningless, as if the energy you've invested in it no longer aligns with your soul's desires. And perhaps most jarring of all, a version of yourself, the one you've grown accustomed to and even found comfort in, might dissolve right before your eyes, leaving you questioning who you are beneath it all. The universe is demanding evolution. It's not asking, it's commanding. There's no negotiation here, no time to stall or bargain. You can either surrender and allow the changes to unfold, or you'll be dragged along in resistance, feeling the discomfort grow as you hold on to what no longer serves you. This is the real test. How will you respond when life strips away something you thought you needed? The truth is, if something is disappearing, it was never meant to stay. It was never yours to keep in the first place. The Aries eclipse doesn't simply bring change, it burns bridges to the past. It has the power to dissolve what was once a part of your foundation. And in doing so, it forces you to step into the unknown. There's no going back, no safe return to the way things were. So don't waste your energy trying to hold on. Don't try to rebuild what has already been destroyed, because attempting to do so will only delay your own personal evolution. If something fades, collapses, or disappears, trust that it is happening for a reason, even if that reason isn't immediately clear. This is a moment of clearing, of purging, and ultimately, of freedom. Once this eclipse has done its work, the only thing left standing will be the real, unfiltered you, the version of yourself that has been waiting for this moment to emerge. It may be raw, unpolished, and unfamiliar, but it will be authentic. Something is building inside you now. A pressure, heat, and energy that feels like it could explode at any moment. This is the fire of Aries. Raw and uncontainable. It is the spark that ignites action, the drive that pushes you forward. Once it's lit, it won't go out. It will burn with a fierce intensity, demanding you act, to move, to break free from whatever chains have held you in place. You will feel the pull, the magnetic force that urges you to go after what you truly desire, to let go of the past, and to step boldly into the future. There's no turning back now. The eclipse has spoken, and it's time for you to rise. But here's the catch. Fire doesn't think, it just burns. It doesn't consider the consequences or weigh the pros and cons. It simply consumes everything in its path with raw, unstoppable force. This month, you may find yourself feeling an almost uncontrollable urge to do something, anything, to release all the energy that's building inside you. Whether that manifests as a desire to quit your job, start a new project, destroy something that's no longer serving you, or create something entirely new, the energy is there, pulsating and insistent. But here's the thing. If you don't control it, it will control you. Aries energy, at its core, is a weapon. It's one of the most powerful forces of the zodiac. But like any weapon, it can either be wielded wisely or recklessly. When used with intention and focus, this fire can propel you toward your greatest breakthroughs, pushing you past old limitations and lighting the way to new, uncharted territories. However, if you let it run wild, if you act impulsively, without thinking, you may find yourself making rash decisions that you'll later regret, burning bridges you didn't mean to, sabotaging relationships, or ending up in situations that serve only to leave you more frustrated. The key now is to learn how to harness this energy. It's not about extinguishing the fire, but learning how to control it, direct it, and use it to your advantage. Before you act on impulse, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this decision, coming from a place of power? Or is it rooted in panic or fear? In moments of intense desire or frustration, that pause, however brief, can be the difference between creating something beautiful and constructive and spiraling into chaos. For some of us, this energy is already here, ready to be harnessed, while for others, it's just beginning to stir beneath the surface. The question you may want to ask yourself now is, what will you set on fire? Your past or your future? The universe, in its infinite wisdom, is aligning things in such a way that you're meeting people and encountering experiences that hold significant meaning for you. You might find that the connections you make in this time are more than mere coincidences. They're catalysts, deeply linked to your personal evolution. Remember when I mentioned meeting people lately who feel strangely significant? That's no accident. Aries energy doesn't just tear down the old. It also paves the way for new growth, new possibilities, and fresh beginnings. The people entering your life now aren't just here by chance. They're here for a reason. Some of them will challenge you, pushing you to grow in ways you didn't think possible. Others will open doors that you didn't even know existed, showing you new opportunities and perspectives. And some will feel so familiar, like you've known them for lifetimes, that it's almost eerie. Have you ever met someone and felt like time slowed down for a moment? Or had a conversation that felt too perfectly timed to be a coincidence? That's the kind of energy that's working behind the scenes right now. These aren't just random interactions. They are part of the larger tapestry of your life, each one weaving its threads into your personal story. The universe is putting you exactly where you need to be, with the people you need to meet at precisely the right time. So, as the fire of Aries energy burns bright this month, remember, it's not just about reacting to everything around you in a blaze of passion. It's about learning how to steer that fire, how to direct its heat and light toward your highest good. The choices you make now, the people you allow into your life, and the paths you choose to follow will shape the direction of your future. This is your moment to rise, to set your intentions with clarity, and to make moves that will lead to the transformation you've been seeking. Just remember, the fire may burn hot, but if you learn to guide it, it can ignite your dreams in ways you've only imagined. You're entering a powerful phase where the seemingly random encounters and situations you face are not mere coincidences. They're pivotal, intentional moves designed to push you forward in your journey of self-evolution. These moments are messages, opportunities disguised as fleeting interactions. You may find yourself reconnecting with someone from your past, someone whose presence once seemed insignificant or unfinished. But now, that connection has a renewed purpose, offering you lessons or clarity that you never expected. This person, perhaps even someone you haven't seen in years, may reappear in your life with something crucial to share, an insight, a realization, or even an apology. It's as though the universe is bringing these people back into your orbit, but this time, their presence is tied to a larger purpose in your growth. Alternatively, you could cross paths with a stranger, someone who says something that resonates so deeply within you, it shakes your very core. It may be a passing comment, a brief exchange, but it will feel like they've spoken a truth that you've been too afraid to acknowledge until now. These encounters won't be just happenstance. They're signs that something inside of you is about to change. You may find yourself feeling restless or unsettled, almost as if you're on the brink of a significant transformation. That feeling isn't random. It's a signal that you're being called to pay attention to these moments, to lean into them and listen to what they're telling you. These seemingly insignificant interactions are not just coincidences. They're divinely timed and designed to unlock new parts of your inner world. If you're feeling a surge of frustration, a deep-seated need to throw out the rulebook and forge your own path, know that this is the awakening of Aries energy within you. This is the spirit of a warrior, a rebel, and a trailblazer stirring inside you, demanding that you no longer play small, that you step into your power unapologetically. For so long, you've been molded and shaped by external expectations. What you should be, what you should do, what's realistic or acceptable. But now something inside you has shifted. The voices that once told you to conform will lose their grip, and you'll feel a deep primal urge rising from within, a desire to break free, to live on your own terms. Perhaps you've reached a point in your life where you're fed up with the monotony of a job that drains your spirit. Or perhaps you can no longer ignore the tension in a relationship that no longer serves you. Maybe you're simply standing at the crossroads of your own life, questioning everything and thinking to yourself, this isn't who I'm supposed to be. Aries energy is all about destruction, destroying the limitations, beliefs, and constraints that have held you back for so long. But it doesn't do so with meticulous planning or calculated strategy. No, Aries energy bursts forth with raw, unrelenting force. It's an eruption, an explosion of power that propels you into action, even when you don't feel entirely ready for it. What's striking about this energy is that it can take you completely by surprise. One moment, you might feel as though you're in control, perhaps even content. But in the blink of an eye, it will feel as though you've been living in a cage, quietly suppressing parts of yourself that long to be set free. And when this energy is unleashed, it's not gentle. It doesn't ask for permission. It forces you to act, to move forward, to let go of whatever you've been clinging to. It's a fierce, bold, and fearless energy that calls you to embrace the chaos and act without hesitation. But here's the twist. If you don't learn to channel this powerful force, it can easily consume you. If you allow it to control you, it will manifest in reckless, impulsive decisions that may feel liberating at first, but could leave you with unintended consequences. Aries energy is so intense that it doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It compels things to move forward, regardless of whether you're fully prepared. People around you may make sudden, dramatic changes, and while some will thrive under the surge of this energy, others will get lost in the whirlwind, burning bridges and cutting ties without considering the aftermath. The key to harnessing Aries energy lies in your ability to direct it consciously. Instead of letting it drive you into rash decisions or blind rebellion, use it to fuel your vision, to push past your fears, and to shatter the barriers that have kept you stuck. It's a fire that, when properly tended, can ignite a revolution in your life, propelling you toward a future that's unapologetically your own. But if you allow it to go unchecked, it can leave you feeling burned out or scattered. So, embrace the intensity, but be mindful. This is your moment to break free from the constraints that have held you back for far too long, to step into your power and live authentically. Don't let this energy pass you by. Use it to redefine your life, your choices, and your path forward. So before this fire consumes you, ask yourself, are you making a move because it's truly the right thing for you, or are you simply desperate to feel free? Aries doesn't do subtle. Its energy isn't about waiting around, being cautious, or tiptoeing toward decisions. It's about striking while the iron is hot. It's impulsive, bold, and often all-consuming. Either it pushes you forward with a burst of energy that seems unstoppable, or it leaves you in its wake, surrounded by the wreckage of a life that's been destroyed without a clear plan or direction. This is the raw intensity of Aries energy. The question is, are you ready for it? At first, you might not even notice the shift happening. You'll find yourself swept up in the flow of life, adapting to changes at lightning speed without a second thought. The changes will be so big and so fast that they'll catch you off guard. Life, suddenly, will feel like it's speeding up. Conversations, decisions, emotions, opportunities. Everything coming at you all at once, like a whirlwind. You might feel overwhelmed at times, but at other moments it will feel exhilarating. And then one day it will hit you. Maybe you'll realize it in the middle of a conversation, when something inside you clicks and you feel yourself no longer fully engaged with what's being said. Or perhaps it will happen while scrolling through your social media, noticing how detached you feel from things that once intrigued you. It might even happen while looking in the mirror, staring at your reflection, and suddenly realizing you're not the same person you were before. At first, the changes will be subtle. You might not even be able to pinpoint exactly what's different. It could be the way you react to certain people, the way your emotions feel more distant or less intense. Your thoughts will shift, and the things that once consumed your mind, the worries, the goals, the pressures, no longer hold the same weight they once did. Your priorities might start to feel out of place, like they belong to someone else. But as time goes on, it will all start to make sense. You'll see the pattern, the puzzle coming together piece by piece. This isn't just growth in the conventional sense. This is something much deeper. It's a rewiring of who you are at your core. The way you think, the way you move, and how you engage with the world will all be in flux, shifting, evolving into something unrecognizable from what you once were. And while all of this is happening, you'll begin to notice it in your relationships too. The connections you once thought were solid may begin to feel fragile. Conversations that used to energize you may start to feel draining, empty, or meaningless. The people who once felt like home might seem as though they're speaking a language you no longer understand. And in those moments, you might feel a pang of isolation, a sense of disconnection. But then, something unexpected will occur. You won't miss it. You won't miss the old connections, the old ways of being. The truth will begin to dawn on you. You're not just changing, you're evolving. This isn't about who you were, it's about who you're becoming. This process isn't easy, but it's necessary. And in the end, you'll realize that every change, every shift, has led you to a version of yourself that's more authentic, more aligned with who you truly are. The fire that Aries brings might burn everything away, but what's left will be stronger, clearer, and more purposeful. You'll start to see the world differently, and you'll begin to understand that the journey is never about staying the same. It's about constant evolution. Thank you for taking the time to watch. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing for more. Your support means a lot, and feel free to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content.